Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody around the world. My name is Muhammad Nuri, and today we are doing another deck tag for Commander EDH. First off, our commander for today is Zaxara, the Exemplary, companion with Gyruda, Doom of Death. Zaxara, the Exemplary, is a 4 mana 2/3 creature, 1 colorless, black, green, blue. It has Death Touch and tap. Add 2 mana of any one color, and whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token, then put X +1/+1 counters on it. And Gyruda, Doom of Death. It has a companion mechanic where your starting deck contains only cards with even converted mana cost. It's a 6 mana 6/6, 4 colorless, a hybrid blue black. When Gyruda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. The aim of this deck is to cheat big creatures on turn 4. Big, gigantic, massive creatures such as Blighsteel Colossus, Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, It That Betrays, these Eldrazis, and these Praetors such as Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, Jin-Gitaxias, Core Augur, and even Terastodon, Woodfall Primus, craterhoof behemoth, or end-raze forerunners on turn 4. And how do we go about doing that on turn 4? Basically, how I built this deck, we have a lot of 2 mana ramp cards. 2 mana ramp cards such as Rampant Growth, Into the North, Farseek, Nature's Law, 3 Visits, Restore, and Sakura Tribe Elders. And Artifact Mana Rocks as the Signets, Arcane Signet, Simic Signet, Golgari Signet, Dimir Signet. The Talismans, Felwa Stone, Mind Stone, Prismatic Lanterns, and the best Rock of all, Mana Creep. So basically, turn 1, you lay a land. Turn 2, you play your ramp or you play your mana rock. And turn 3, you have 4 mana, you can cast Zaxara the Exemplary. And on turn 4, you don't even need to put a land. You can straight away use Zaxara's attack ability to add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. And with the ramp and the 2 lands, you can cast Gyruda, Doom of Death. And when Gyruda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Then, we put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under our control. Now, we have 35 even CMC creatures in our deck, and that is a lot, and 13 of them are clones. So, we don't even need to bother about what our opponent mills. We are just concentrating on what we can get from our deck. So, besides these big monsters that I just spoke about earlier, we can have our defense creatures such as Cataract Leviathan, Duplicant, Noxious Gearhawk, Massacre Wurm, or Hostage Taker. A cool thing about Hostage Taker is that I normally use Hostage Taker to exile my Gyruda, Doom of Death, so that when Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield, Gyruda will come into play again and trigger again, obtaining maximum value. And then we have our utility, Even CMC creatures such as Consecrated Sphinx, Ulvenwald Hydra, Green Warden of Murasa, Grave Titan, and Tasigur the Golden Fang. I want to talk a bit more about our creature clones. I'm playing the full suit of all the clones that is available in Sultai colors, but the best clone of all is Spark Double. Spark Double, 99% of the time, I would clone it as Gyruda, Doom of Death, because when Spark Double enters the battlefield, it isn't a legendary if the permanent that it is cloning is legendary. That means Gyruda will trigger again, but he will stay on the battlefield because there's no legend rule, and he can trigger another clone, and he will trigger another clone and trigger. So that is some sort of a mini combo. And with clones, imagine if end-raze forerunners or craterhoof behemoth are already on the battlefield, and when we clone them, it will be game-ending finishes. Juicy clone targets such as Woodfall Primus, Terastodon, even something like Massacre Wurm can kill all our opponents and them losing life at the same time. Since we are milling a lot, we play a little bit of reanimation, and our Even CMC reanimation cards are Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, Stitch Together, Blood for Bones, Wake the Dead, and Finale of Eternity. Lastly, to round off our cards, Cyclonic Rift is just a very good blue card. Demonic Tutor is the best black card. And just one board wipe, just in case. But the best two cards I believe in our deck is Panharmonicon and Thassa Deep Dwelling, because it can trigger all our ETB creatures for maximum value. Lastly are the lands. The lands is a straightforward Sultai cards with lots of fetches, and the best card to fetch is this Zagov Triome cards. And we just play one Field of the Dead as well, and Bojuka Bog that we can actually fetch with our Ulvenwald Hydra. In conclusion, I think this is a very fun and explosive deck, but I need to let you know how the game plays out normally in real life is that you will be the target of all the players at the table. So, good luck guys. I hope you enjoy the deck tech, and I hope to see you soon.